What is a nation-state? At the time of the 30 Years' War, which was one of the most traumatic periods in human history, there was a variety of social structures that were embroiled in a sectarian conflict between Protestant and Catholic religious practice. Those social structures included principalities, independent city-states, duchies, an empire, the Catholic Church, and that generation-long conflict was ended by two treaties known collectively as the Peace of Westphalia. And that treaty did something that an international treaty hadn't done before. It took these different social structures, the principalities and duchies and various other complainants and participants in this conflict, and put them on equal standing in a resolution to the conflict. And although the word nation-state is not used anywhere in the Peace of Westphalia, it created the idea that each of these entities would have equal, at least for the purpose of this document, legal standing, and that they would get what they wanted as far as the resolution, and that they were entities placed into a community where they had their own rights and prerogatives, but they weren't to interfere with the other social structures that had participated in the war. So this has become the dominant social structure over the course of the past 350 years, because this idea of these independent entities on equal footing that don't interfere with one another has worked out to be a pretty useful idea. We need the term nation-state because it conveys four different concepts. The nation is the people that are citizens of any given country. But perhaps more importantly, the nation is their idea of participating in this abstraction, which is the nation-state. And the state is the government, which governs the people, but also governs a piece of land which is bounded and finite. This is different from social structures that preceded the nation-state. The nation-state says that it controls what's inside of this outline, and that it isn't going to interfere with what's outside of the outline. And so it has persisted as a very useful idea of how to organize human affairs on a very large scale. My book, Hatching the Nation-State, takes my doctoral research findings, which are public perception that the nation-state is not defunct, but talks about four ways in which the nation-state has to update its traditional or historical properties so that it can survive globalization.